After heavy lobbying from airlines and the travel industry, the Biden administration will no longer require pre-departure COVID-19 testing for travelers coming to the United States, effective Sunday. The news comes after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention determined, based on the science and data, that the requirement is no longer necessary, according to an official. With the busy summer travel season fast approaching, carriers were already bracing for record demand. But airlines have said that many Americans are not traveling internationally because of concerns they will test positive and be stranded abroad. Meanwhile, many countries in Europe and elsewhere have already dropped testing requirements. Mask wearing during travel has been another area of debate. In April, a federal judge declared the CDC's requirements that travelers wear masks on airplanes and in transit hubs like airports unlawful, and the administration stopped enforcing it. The Justice Department has appealed the order, but no decision is likely before fall at the earliest. The CDC is still requiring most non-U.S. citizens to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to travel to the United States. After 90 days, the agency will do a reassessment of its decision to drop pre-departure COVID-19 international air testing requirements and take steps accordingly.
The chairperson of the Congressional Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack of the United States Capitol has told the first public hearing that the violent actions of that day were a culmination of an attempted coup. Democratic Representative Benny Thompson called January 6th a sprawling multi-step conspiracy aimed at overturning the election that Joe Biden had won in 2020 by defeating the then incumbent President Donald Trump.
The made-for-television hearing sought to present findings and never-before-seen video evidence in a systematic way, making a strong case that at the center of it all was former President Trump as a key protagonist to what happened on that fateful day.
January 6th was the culmination of an attempted coup, a brazen attempt, as one rioter put it shortly after January 6th, to overthrow the government.
Indicating that over the next few weeks of hearings, they were going to remind Americans of what happened that day, warning that the cause of U.S. democracy was still in danger.
At 6:01 p.m. on January 6th, after he spent hours watching a violent mob besiege, attack, and invade our Capitol, Donald Trump tweeted, but he did not condemn the attack. Instead, he justified it.
Presenting video testimony of the former president's inner circle, including his attorney general at the time and his daughter.
I had 3 discussions with the president that I can recall. One was on November 23rd, one was on December 1st, and one was on December 14th. And I've been through sort of the give and take of those discussions. And in that context, I made it clear I did not agree with the idea of saying the election was stolen.
How did that affect your perspective about the election when Attorney General Barr made that statement?
It affected my perspective. I respect Attorney General Barr. So I accepted what he was saying.
Video evidence also demonstrated the roles of 2 right-wing militia groups, the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, in a coordinated effort to storm the Capitol and stop the certification of Joe Biden's election victory. Republican House leadership has called the Select Committee the most political and least legitimate committee in American history, despite it comprising 2 Republicans, including the vice chair in its ranks. It was Liz Cheney who spoke directly to her Republican colleagues in that hearing last night, with her message to those defending the indefensible. Quote, "There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain." Close quotes. And as the country now gears itself for a series of evidentiary hearings, it will ultimately be left to the Justice Department to decide on any charges against the former president and members of his inner circle. Sherwin Briceby's SABC News, New York.